So I was thinking just do some live coding just to fill the period and answer questions on the fly. So yeah, we'll just do that then, I guess. I don't know. So I was working on the demo code and I didn't finish it. Lucky me. So I figure why not do some real-time communication right now, live coding. Why not? It can only go wrong. So we'll give this a go. Actually, this hands up. Who attended the talk earlier on? You come to the right place. For those that weren't at the talk, we were doing. I was talking about real-time communication. This is about replacing Firebase Firebase Firestore with something that mimics it essentially. Again, you're not trying to replace Firestore because that's been built by a huge team of people for a very long time and everything else. So the hope here is sort of providing something that is at least somewhat starting that journey. And for most of the time, you have like a big service like Firestore and it gives you a huge array of features and functionality that you probably don't use. So there's kind of half of this is what can you code yourself to meet the requirements of what you need for your project. So yeah, let's see where we can go. Mr. Nyancat has been slow. Right. So I started this project off. This has got 3 modules to the project. We've got, do you need me to make it bigger? What is that? Let's see. Do you know what? Let's make things. And this is going to look like jank. Right. Anyway. So the idea is having 3 modules. So you've got an app module, which is your Flutter app. In this case, it's going to be a web app. And then we've got common, which allows us to share some amount of code between the server and the app. And then we have a server module here, which is the basics of a shelf server running a Docker file. I think I mentioned this in my talk. If people weren't paying attention, this is kind of your basic get off the ground Docker. So this actually works in 2 steps. So it does the compilation inside a Docker container, and the final output is a Scratch container that just contains the runtime environment, which is a few small files, and then the actual application binary, which it copies over from the original container. And that's what the from bit does, because this one's named. Yeah, so we just have an entry point which spins things up, pretty straightforward. And we have a little basic server example going here. Not a lot to it. Hopefully there'll be a lot more soon. So we're going to add WebSockets to this. I think we can make that happen very quickly, and we'll have it listen to the database so that any data that changes in the database will then get shifted down the WebSocket to the app. That's the plan, at least. Let's see what we can do. Let me grab a mouse. Let's see. That's better. So first of all, I've got a database server running already. So we have a Postgres instance running locally. We actually haven't created anything in it yet. What can we do?
How did you create the Postgres database?
Just install Postgres. So Postgres actually comes with a default database called Postgres out of the box, which is just easy to work with that. But once you've got a database server up and running, there's a create database SQL statement, which will then create further databases. There's also command line utilities, which allow you to create databases using the root permissions for the database. That helps. So I installed, this is Windows. I installed just the standard installer for Postgres out of the box. And it adds a database called Postgres on the local host. And you give it a default password. And this is what gets up and running sort of immediately. The database itself is broken down into what's called schemas. Schema is like a set of a set of resources that the database server will monitor and operate with. So you can create tables, views, all the other standard SQL things. In this case, we'll just throw together a quick table. I guess maybe something like a chat message thing might just be the quickest thing to demo. Maybe. Let's do messages. And we want, what columns do we want? We'll have an ID column. I don't usually use this. We'll make it a string. And we'll add in a message, I guess. And we're gonna make this really super simple because it's like, yeah, no time. So, and we'll have a from, I guess, to our care. Let's keep it super basic. Let's just do ID and message. All right, and what we actually want to do now, let's create that table. So this is, by the way, I'm using IntelliJ Ultimate, which comes with the database stuff built in, which is another product from JetBrains. So if you're using the community version, you don't get this. However, when you do install Postgres, it does give you pgadmin, which is like an open source database management tool, which gives you all the same things, but just not integrated into your development environment. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello world. Let's get some data in there. You can actually have the database automatically generate IDs. I just can't be bothered right now. There's also auto incrementing fields, and you can also give default values from a function, and that function then like generate UUIDs or whatever you want. Right. Cool. That gives us some data in the database. So if we query it now, we should get that information. So let's start a new query. We're going to do just standard sort of SQL. So select star from messages, right? And that should deliver us the data back. Brilliant. We know that's working. So let's hook up the database to the server, and then we can then add some APIs to query that data, and then we can add a WebSocket to. Actually, let's do this. Let's make an API that creates a message. So the app can send a message. We make a message box, hit send. It calls the API, and we see that change. And then that change can then come back down the WebSocket to the app. And if you had multiple instances, if you spin that up, then they should all get the same notifications. All right. So let's give this a go. First of all, we need to make sure that we're setting up our database correctly. And I've forgotten what the commands are, so bear with me. We want to create a function. Ooh, this is ropey. Right, create a function, notify messages. Oh, I'm going to have to go look this up, aren't I? No, it's not how you do it. Start and end, I think it is. Right, let's Google it. Google is your friend. Create. Sure, sounds like a good idea. Create. Oh, look, there you go. Sure. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is the channel name. This is the payload we're talking about. And in this case, what we're doing is setting up a trigger. This is a function that returns a trigger. How do they set that up? Okay. Sure. So we're going to quickly do this. Thank you, anonymous man from the internet. What's his name? Do I have a name? No. Well, I'm sure he'll watch the video at some point. Right. Okay. And so the record and data here is these are just local variables, and what we're seeing. What we're seeing here is when the operation comes in, this is like a preloaded variable telling you what sort of action took place when the event took place, the trigger, update, insert, delete, and you'll get new and old filled in with the record data. Let's see. All right, I mean, looks moderately correct. Well, guess we'll try it. Let's call it, I don't know, event channel. Right, that looks good to me. Let's give it a go. No errors. That's good. And then what we'll do is we'll just create that trigger. So that the first one was create the function, and now this is going to create a trigger that calls that function. And the trigger is set up to, after insert, update, or delete, it will then call the function. Right, let's give that a go. Cool. So that was like the setup piece. What we can now do is if this table is changed, it's going to call that trigger, and then it's going to notify on that channel. So now we want to get our server code listing on that channel. Pardon me. I'm just going to go copy code from my own slide. Right. Let's see if I can quickly squeeze this in. I guess, do we have Postgres? Yes. Do I do this properly? We're not going to do it properly. We're going to hard code everything. So when the server starts up, we want to open up a connection pool to the Postgres database. So, yeah, he deprecated that. Why is it? This is how low coding really is. Right, let's see. That's the one. Exactly what I want. So we want to open up our connection pool. And localhost Postgres, username, Postgres. There you go. And then we want, let's call it DB connection. This is how, obviously you want to modularize this a bit more, right? So you would have maybe a database client, something that maybe some of the different projects we worked on, we'd make almost like a repository pattern, have something that and almost a lightweight ORM. If you just want to code it yourself, of course. Let's see. So, and let's do connection. And in fact, what we want to do, sure, nothing like live coding, right? So what we're going to do here is just use this getter as just a way of just not having to put the bang everywhere. And then when we stop the server, we want to tidy that up. And in fact, yeah. Right, now we've got a connection. We want to listen to that, hard code everything. I've got my extension. Let's do that. It's like connection. There's a difference between version 2 and version 3 of the Postgres library. I know it's open. All right, it's open. Sure. So we were saying we want to listen to event channel, I think I called it. Come on. That's what I want. And before I start listening on the channel, we want to establish the socket, the subscription, which is on this slide. By the way, if there's any questions, feel free to just, I don't know, call out. Let's see. So we could actually take this out here and on database notification. Sure. Okay, so we still have a notification model, but apparently it's no longer notifications. Channels. Okay. Apparently they've integrated this now, so that's nice. Like, so you can get a stream for a particular channel. That's super nice. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. I'm going to say it was square brackets. Okay, so now we actually get the there as a string. We don't have to do the farming out of the. Obviously, if you wanted to get all the events coming through to one place, you could do that. And yep. Cool. And let's just do something else like I don't know, notification stream closed, just so we're aware of what's going on. I don't think we'll get any of these things happen right now. We're not going to handle reconnections. Right, and then we want a sub, so we'll say notification sub. If you don't close this, your connection won't close. So that's a good point. If I do channels, no, was it listen? No, I guess not. So let's go. Right, got that. Cool. Okay, so we're going to get notification down this channel. It's going to go to that function. And this function, we want to decode that payload. And we're just going to dump it out to the log right now and say notification payload data. All right, let's give it a go.
We need to make it nullable.
Which one?
The one that you have subscription string nullable.
Oh yeah. Cool. Well, make it late. Right. Cool. All right, let's go. Server. that would be a problem that we need to solve. So we're definitely not going to do SSL because we're not going to fiddle around with certificates right now. But I believe that's probably because that's the default. I assume somewhere. Connection settings, maybe. SSL mode. Disabled. That's exactly what I want. At least it does SSL by default. Try that again. Okay, server listening. That's good. Now let's go make a change. Insert a record and see what happens. Sure. Testing 2. Save. Hey, cool. It worked. First time. Mission complete. So we've got, so what we're seeing here, let me make that bigger for everyone. I should have done like pretty print, never mind. So you've got timestamp from when the event occurred, the action, the schema, the identity ID, the table, the record of the change. So it's giving us all the fields. And then if it was an update, you would get an old. In fact, let's do an update now. So if I go and change that to testing 3. And hit save. It does not like that, apparently. Okay, the trigger's failed. Line 22. Can you give me a bit more than that? When preparing the plan record. Great. I guess we're not doing updating. And I guess the ID just doesn't like me. Right, let's cancel that. Where's reset? Revert. There you go. All right, we can do insert though. It's good enough for a demo. Right. So, all right, so we can listen to them. Now what we need to do is add WebSockets and get the app working. And when the app runs, we'll have a little message list, which will display these messages and a send button. So, how much time do we have? Yeah. So sorry. So to be clear, that there at the bottom is the Dart server running, listening on HTTP connections, but in the background, it's also listening to the database. So the idea here is that we'll set up a WebSocket connection between the server and the app, which we haven't run yet. And then when the database gets changed, it will then deliver those messages to the server, and the server can then disperse them to the apps that are listening. So, okay. So let's see. Oh, yeah. So I've just minimized it for now, right? But that's going to continue running. And then we'll see where we get to. So the idea being that obviously when you deploy this, I could just, if I had Docker, I don't have Docker installed on this machine, it's a new one. But you could just run Docker install, and deploy like a tight image of your app that's been compiled. And then you can go take that and then deploy it on Cloud Run or anywhere, literally any cloud platform will take a Docker image. So, okay. Right, where was I? Right, so we've got notifications coming down from the database server down to the app. Down to the server. And now what we want to do is take these events. So we're going to need to set up a way of tracking WebSockets and WebSockets on the server. And then we'll swap over to the app and we'll do the app side and then we'll test it. Sounds like...
Starts in 6 minutes.
Oh, well, the party's really here. It's up to you guys. I don't mind. If you want to head off to the party, you can head off to the party. Where is it? Just downstairs. Our main stage. Do you know what you should do? Do you know what you should do, Tomek? Go down there, get a crate of beer, and bring it back. If you want to head off, I'm just filling in a slot. So, I'm going to stay as long as people are here. So, well, within reason. Anyway, so we'll carry on this, and then But yeah, if you want to go grab a drink and bring it back, be my guest.
You want one? Take it from here.
I'm good. Yeah, just drunk coding, right? Okay, so where were we? Right. Okay, so we've got this coming down. We need to create some WebSockets. Let's go grab the WebSocket package, and then we'll need to set up 2 APIs. In fact, let's do that first. We're not going to do any sort of security or anything crazy right now. We're just going to chuck it in there. It's the way to do it, right? In fact, we should probably be nice and unlisten from our channel. Right. What was the thing? Yeah. Where are my handlers? Router. Here we go. This is like the default shelf code that I just started working with. So we'll leave the root handle in there and just say, I am the server. Fear me. Right. And we want a messages. And we can do that. It's kind of nice to do, if you're going to do like a JSON API, just have it always post. But, you know, it depends on how RESTful you want to get. Actually, yeah, I'll show you both. So in this case, we'll say, let's rename, whoops, fingers. We'll rename this, please. Oh, different hotkeys. No, good. Get messages, why not? And then we'll add another handler for post message. Ooh, it's not the right one. Right. And then we'll make these future response. Get beers, bring them back. Right. Did I flip them around? And let's. Right. So messages coming in. We're not going to take any parameters. So we don't care about that. We'll send message. Yeah, perfect. That's how I have a parameter called message. In fact, will it pass the body? I'm not sure. I have a feeling this won't do what I want it to do. You'll just do. Oh, sure. We'll do it. Right. Okay. Body. Body. It's a string, isn't it? It's like read body. It's read a string. That's what. That's going to get the body of the request, and then we can then just like, this is like zero validation. Don't do this, but this is great for a quick example. All right, and then this is data. All right, and what we'll do is we'll do db dot. Like again, should be zero architecture going on here. So let's what's the perform query now? Run? No. Prepare? No. You don't need to prepare. Sorry, this is the V3. Give me 1 second. Hey, this is execute. Okay, that works. Let's do it. So from messages, and in fact, could add a date timestamp. We're not going to bother doing that, but get nice ordering then. Oh no, we don't want to select this, the wrong one. Let's do this up here. And select all from messages. Let's not worry about parameters. and we're going to return back a JSON encoded body. See how long we can go. Messages. And send. Post message. Excuse me. Cool. All right, so that should be really basic. I'm going to grab this from the database and send it back, and then post message. We're going to take the request coming in, and we're going to insert, and we're going to do. Do we have the UID package? Why not? Sure. Cool. So we want to generate an ID. We could actually get, yeah, as I said earlier, get the database to do this, but this will do the job right now. Please. So I edit the right. Yeah. Why not? Why no work? There you go. I'm just going to take the message. It's always, you don't inject them straight into the string. If you put the variable straight into the string, you're going to create SQL exploits. By putting them as the parameters, the Postgres package will escape all the various things so that you don't get those kind of problems. Right, so this is data message, and did you bring beer back? Bring beer back. Which one? Oh no, I haven't finished it yet. Hang on. Right, insert into messages. Values. So these are the placeholder names for, get into hopefully one line. So these are the placeholder names that match the parameter names down here. And that's how it knows where to fill in the various fields. And right. Otherwise, it's just okay, and that'll do. Really? Fine. Cool. We could. Well, we'll test them in a minute. Yeah, we'll test them in a minute. Do you know what? Actually, no. There's a way of doing this. You can also add hot reload. There's a package called hot reloader, and you can actually have it so that when you hit save, it detects the file changes the package does, and then it will stop and start the server again using the new code, which is really quite handy. So you get that kind of the same performance of development that you do from Flutter, but you get that with the server side as well. Okay, so where are we at here? Yeah, APIs. I think there's a way I can do this. Let's give it a go. Test.rest. Get Where are you? Exactly what I want. Messages. Hey, it worked. Okay. Didn't type them though. Didn't give them names. That's annoying. Yeah. So there is the new API has support for that. Just don't remember what it is. Query mode. Define the session settings. Query mode extended. Simple. That's not helpful. Named. Okay, well, we'll just leave it like that for now. You can actually, it does come back, and then you can then just like index in with the like column names, but I wonder if this is version 2 I've been working with, so okay, so you can get the column schema, so you do know which column is what. I guess you would have to map it out. I think it does it automatically, but let's leave it the way it is. All right, so and then insert, let's see if we can do that. Post, can I do it in the same file? That'd be really helpful. Let's do, wrong, okay. Get messages. Send. I think I called it send. We don't check at the moment the content type, but it's always good to do that. And the body was there you go, Atomic. Right, let's give that a go. Good, the response body is empty. It didn't crash. What did the server tell us? 200 send. Let's go look at the database. Refresh it. Atomic rules. Yeah. And there's it. Woo. First time. Right, so there's our lovely UID. Right, so it's that. Okay, that's that portion of the API done. I think that's it from a RESTful perspective right now in terms of example. Let's go and add some WebSockets. Are people still interested? We still continue? Everyone's good? Thumbs up. Good. You're not paying attention. So, yeah, WebSockets. So what we want to do now is when we get those notification WebSockets, they'll get sent down to the app. I'm not sure I have a way to test WebSockets without the app right now. So I think there is a way of doing it in here, but I have. Oh, look at that. Yes. Okay, cool. Simple WebSocket. And then you send stuff like that. Wait for server. That looks handy. So, okay, so you're saying if I open up. Again, this is, I think the RESTful stuff is, I'm not sure if it's in the community version. All right, so let's say listen for messages, REST, and since I'm not doing variables right now, to be clear, the WS:// stands for WebSocket, so it knows what protocol you're using. That is the same as HTTP, and then it's WSS for the same as SSL, so HTTPS. You don't have to do anything special, it just works. The idea is that just to notify that this is a WebSocket rather than HTTP standard. Right, so this should just still be localhost 8080. So the idea right now is if I run this, we should get something, an error maybe. I guess it just stays running. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Or maybe it's trying to connect. I have no idea. Right, let's go implement the package. Get rid of those. This will do. Make some room. Okay, so let's do Dart pub add WebSocket channel web. Oh, damn! Where's my talk? I forgot. See, that's the one I'm looking for. Grab them both. Can you add multiple? I don't know. Let's do that. Cool. So with those, did I add? Did I add them to the wrong one? I added them to common. Cool. All right, so let's go find what the default says for that. Why not? Cool. That's what I want. WebSocket handler. Yes. Yes, please. I'll show you a little bit about the WebSocket handler actually. Let's get in there first. And let's hook it up. Okay. Sure. Okay. So the WebSocket handler is just a normal HTTP handler under the hood. Here's the actual method that runs, just like we would write it ourselves. And yeah, it checks about the various parameters, see if you've got an upgrade request, and it matches the various things that the library supports. And then it will then take over that request and stream the data directly. So there's a whole protocol in here about how it switches and does the HTTP upgrade. At the end of the day, it's from upgraded socket. And this is going to return back a WebSocket instance that can then be used to communicate back and forth with. And that is basically what gets wrapped in this. And this should implement essentially the WebSocket channel protocol, which is the things that we actually code with, right? That's the underlying working system. So we can send stuff back to the client using the sync. So this is like a stream protocol back and forth. And then you can listen to it. It's a stream as well. And you can get messages from it. Where is it? Yeah, stream channel mixing. So if we go back, all we're doing here is we're getting our WebSocket instance, WebSocket channel. And we can then stream and receive messages on that channel. And we can also send messages on that channel. So if we could just take get a list of these. This is super basic, but you can imagine that depending on the request that came in for the WebSocket upgrade, you can look at the auth header, see which user it is, and then associate that WebSocket connection with this particular user. So client WebSockets, maybe. I want. And what we want to do is if we stop the server, we're just going to iterate over these and shut them down. Cancel, cast. I guess we can just close the sync. And then okay, so when someone connects, we're basically going to want to, we're not going to pay attention to whatever they're sending us. We're just going to have receive only right now. You could obviously set that up, just listen to the stream. Nothing that we actually need to care about right now. So when it comes in, we're just going to say, add that WebSocket to our list. And then when we get an update from the database, we're going to push it down to the app. And so, what was that? Here it is. And we'll just send, I'll just send it straight back. Obviously, you wouldn't want to kind of send it raw, but I'm trying to remember what it was actually. Where's the log? Do we have a log still? It was record. Let's just send the record down. It was data record. That'll do. Let's just do JSON code. I believe it does do it for you, but just in case, you'll know that's a string. Okay. Why is this having a problem? Because it's an initializer. Okay. Magic. Okay. So. Okay, so we change the database. Okay, let's try it. Let's restart our server. Okay, it's listening. We want to, where's that? Listen to messages. So if I run this, ooh. Okay, so it upgraded. That's great. Didn't get anything before, so looks like it's working. Let's go change the database. See what happens. Oh yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, nice. Post message. Atomic rules twice. Run. Hey. No, that's the response body. Hang on a minute. Listen to messages. Hey, there it is. Yeah. So now if I do thrice, whatever, and go back, yeah, it's working. Cool. Not bad, eh? All right, for like, what's it been, half an hour or something? An hour. Cool. So WebSocket's working. There's all been server side right now. Is that the server side finished? I feel like it's probably what we're trying to tackle. We can send messages. They come back out down to the client. And we can list messages to begin with. It's pretty good. All right. Let's grab these and chuck these in a file. Just so we've got them. Let's call it create trigger. That's not HSQL. Right. Just so we've got a copy of that and we can get rid of that select. Cool. Right. There's obviously a bug in that somewhere. We'll have a look at that later. Okay, so now we've got server running. It's there, it's working. We know the APIs work. Let's go update the app. So app-wise, there's not a lot going on here right now. So we're going to flip this out for a column, and we'll have a list view builder, and this will be messages. A stream builder? Ooh, we could do a stream builder. We don't really have any. We don't have anything connected up to the API yet, so let's go. Have HTTP. So we could do that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just do this the quickest way possible. So we'll create a future connecting. Never. Did you bring beers for anyone else? Right. Okay, so start connection. Cool. Right, in here we want to connect up to the HTTP server. Let's go bring in the package, make that light. So we want HTTP. And we were doing it was get, wasn't it? Messages, I think it was. Hard code everything. That's what I say. As quick as possible. This is the challenge. Yeah, get your. Nah, I think they removed that. It's now always a URI in the latest version. God, sure, we'll do that. Yeah, and then well, this is like response, right? Yep, good call. Tomic has now got the fourth message to be sent. Right, response dot status code does not equal. Okay, then we have a big problem. We're just going to crash the app because why not? And then we're going to say messages, right? Let's do I guess we'll just do a list of map because why not? Don't do this. Right, so we're going to say final, I don't know, JSON.decode, response body. All right, so we're going to have some data back. That's going to be our full list. And we had the messages key, didn't we? Right, so we'll say messages add all and see how badly this will break. We'll find out. Data messages. We're just going to use dynamic here. We're not. Cool. And then we want to listen for those changes, right? So we want to create a WebSocket connection. So we need the same library. So the WebSocket channel, library supports connecting as well, like this. So we're just going to add this same package to the client app. Okay. And then we're going to take that and connect, I guess. Oh, actually, you know what? Sounds like a plan. Let's do that. Just doesn't like me. Did I add the right packet? I did. Okay. Come on. Okay, fine. Right, channel ready. We're going to listen. And when message is received, we're going to say, I think we're going to want a way of cancelling this, right? Oops. Stream. Right, so we're going to have our streaming messages coming in. That's say void on message received, and we're just going to print that out for a second. Do we put in? We could. Yeah, do you know what? Let's just go for it. Go for broke. Set state. Messages, add message as map. This is really dodgy. Don't look, Tomek, don't look. What's the problem? Because it wants to be a map. Oh, because... Yeah. Well, no, I was going to put that in a future builders. That should be fine. I don't think it was a map, it was a list, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember how we got... Where's that get call? I think it's called it, can't I? I think we got back... Yeah, it was like an array of arrays, because why not? So, a list of lists. Okay, so if we take... So this is a list of string, in fact. List of a list of string. And we're going to get back a map, and then we're going to cast that map to string, I think it was. Come on. Let me get back. Oh no, it's no, values. Oh, to list. Hang on. I get you every time. Right. If you don't know, by the way, you can actually add the double slash, a line comment at the end of a line, and it will force line breaking, so you can get some nice formatting. Little hack. Cool. So, all right. So, message received, adds it to message, set state, rebuilds the UI, messages. Underscore messages for each message. We're going to get that message. Messages. And then we're going to, I guess, so we'll key this off the ID, which, because we're just doing an array of arrays, this is going to be a key off of message 0. And then message 1 is going to be the actual content. Get that. Comma, yeah. Okay, so we define them. And then let's wrap this in expanded. Do you think this will work first time? I don't know. Let's give it a go. Yeah, okay. And then we'll do a material panel again. And come on. And we'll simply do a text field. Can we just, we can do it without control if we do text form field. Be a bit sneaky. Send? Is it send or something? I think it is. Yep. Right, and we'll make a send function. Put that in there. We'll do a quick sure. Did we post? I think we did post, didn't we? Oops. It's to send, and then our body will be JSON encode message. Come back to that in a second. This is out of text editing controller. What's the action? Okay. Yep. And then in our send function, we can just get the message. Text, and then we'll clear it. We won't bother waiting. Okay, so we've got, we're listening to our channel, WebSocket channel. We're receiving those messages. We're pumping those messages into the messages list. We don't do any sorting, obviously. We didn't add a date time, but you could add a date time and have the query on the server return it back in ordered time. You could then also use display hash map or something like that, which automatically orders on the receiving end as well. Right. Should we give it a go? I don't know, what can go wrong? No, not Chrome. And have I even run this yet? Probably not. if we were, I mean, obviously I'm just sending filter back and forth, but the idea of common is that you can then put your like model classes in there for your data that you're sending back and forth, and you know that the server's sending that data and the client's receiving the same data. Okay. Font missing characters. Oh. Fine.
Maybe you need the set state.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what it is? I didn't do my future builder, did I? That's what it is. That's what it is. I was going to do that. Cool. All right. Test. Damn. I think it's cause. So dealing with. Should we try running it as a Windows app just because? That's probably going to work. So we can grab this in a minute if it is this, but on web, to stop you from going cross-domain with content, the browsers have a lockdown feature called CORS, C-O-R-S, cross-origin request strategy schema, something. And basically the idea is that you can't call out to other domains. If they're not that. All right, time to look at the logs. Although we have a running version, so which is nice, I guess. Let's see. Let's do some debugging. Well, I didn't see any errors in the log, so that's not helpful. I'm pretty sure we ran some code. So let's put a breakpoint in and give it a restart, and then put one in here and start connection. Yeah, we started it up. Create a connecting thing. That looks good to me. Let's put a breakpoint in there. Okay. So messages, response, okay. Headers, body bytes. Yep. All right, so let's step. So we'll step over. Definitely not that. Step over and see what we got back. Data size messages 1. Add all messages. Oops. Oh, we're done. Yeah. Let's try it again. Hotkey. Right. Step over, step over, step over. Okay. Why are you going in there? And not giving me any errors. Ah, because doing set. Is that doing set state? No. What's... All right. You shouldn't need to because it's updating the same variable. I'm not returning back any data from the future itself. It's a void. Let's just do this. Let's do a hot restart here. And okay, we know we hit that breakpoint. Okay, so it probably was with this, but for some reason I'm not getting unhandled errors popping up. Whatever. Let's assume that it couldn't add this, probably because it's a weird typing problem. In fact, we could say, actually, let's have a look. Let's put a breakpoint here. Can't restart. Yes. Okay, let's just see what's in data again. Global list, value. All right, let's hit play. List of lists. This should work. Or maybe not. Let's grab this out. You know what we could do? Let's go stupid on this. Message in messages. Come in. Still going. Nearly done though, hopefully. Right, step over. Okay, what do we get printed off? Looks like exactly what I wanted.
You might have to cast the inner list from this dynamic to this off screen.
Say again?
You might have to cast the inner list from this dynamic.
Yeah, I know, but it's really weird. I mean, it should. It's definitely crashing at that point, but what we're not. Right. Messages. You know what we could do? A list of string. Message was a list of string, right? Well, maybe not. So normally you'd be dealing with this in the layer where you bring back your model. So you just from JSON, bomb, and you're done. Server's running. Yeah. Let's just give it a. So close. Hey. It works. Right, now hang on a minute. Hello, Fluttercon. Yep, breakpoint, that's good. Continue. Not so good. String is not a subtype of map. That would be correct. Oh. Hang on. On message. Oh, sorry. All right, yeah, give me 1 second, and then one little thing. Let's see if we can do this quickly, and then we're done. Right, type string is not a subtype of app dynamic, because why are you trying to do that? Because I'm an idiot. It's a string because it's JSON, and we need to do this. Should be it, hopefully. Send. Yay! There you go. That's it. Yay! Right, there you go. Done. End of talk. Not bad. Right. Thanks very much.